Hi, good morning. Under GST, today we are going to discuss job work. What is job work? Job work means the principal is sending some goods to another person for processing of such goods. That means Britannia biscuits. Britannia biscuit is a very huge demand in public because they are not able to manufacture all the biscuits which are required by the public demand. In such a case, they have given some of the material to some persons to manufacture the biscuits. After manufacturing the biscuits by some person, they have put their brand Britannia. That is meant who is processing the biscuits, who is manufacturing the biscuits? The job worker is processing the biscuits. The processing of such biscuits by third person is known as job work. Understood? Any person who is processing goods on behalf of some principal is called job worker. Who is processing such goods is called job worker. Understand? Okay. Then what are the provisions of job work under CGST Act shall be made applicable to as it is to IGST Act also. That means what are the provisions of job work under CGST Act have also been made applicable to IGST Act by section 20 of the IGST Act. Then we can discuss one by one. Principal can send goods to job worker without payment of goods. That means the principal is sending inputs to raw material. The principal sending capital goods to job worker for processing, and after the processing is completed, the goods are bring back to the principal. That means there is no supply. After processing, the goods are get back to the principal. There is no supply involved. Where there is no supply involved, there is no payment of tax under GST. Okay, first I can read and I can explain again. A registered person principal is allowed to send inputs, capital goods without payment of tax to a job worker, and from there to another job worker. After completion of job work, when bring back such goods without payment of tax, such goods need to be removed under intimation and subject to certain conditions. Principal is not required to reverse the ITC availed on inputs on capital or capital goods dispatched to job worker. Principal can also send inputs or capital goods directly to job worker without bringing them to his premises and can still avail the credit of tax on such inputs or capital goods. Okay, that means once the goods are sent by the principal to job worker is not liable to pay any tax because it is not a supply. And one job worker to another job worker, that means further processing is required. One job worker is sent to another job worker for further processing. After processing is completed, it can be bring back to the principal. Then there is no supply, there is no payment of tax is required. In such a case, the ITC already has purchased, that means he has purchased the good, the principal. The principal is purchased the goods and sent the goods to the job work. In such a case, the principal is not required to reverse the ITC on inputs or capital goods. Understand? Then, in case of inputs are sent by the principal to the job worker, the goods shall be returned back within 1 year from the date of goods, from the date of sending of goods to the job worker. That means in case of any inputs sent by the principal to job worker, the goods shall be returned to the principal within 1 year from the date of sending of such goods to the job worker. In case of capital goods, the time limit will be 3 years. In case of capital goods, the time limit will be 3 years. That is, within 3 years, the goods shall be returned back to the principal. If the goods are not returned within 1 year or 3 years, it shall be treated as a supply by the principal to the job worker. If it is if the goods are returned within 1 year, 3 years, then it is not treated as a supply. If the goods are not returned within 1 year or 3 years in case of capital goods, it shall be treated as a supply by the principal. Then, so we have discussed inputs and capital goods. So some more items are there. What are the items means? In case of any goods like molds, dies, jigs, fixtures, furniture, fixtures or tools, if these items, molds, dies, jigs, fixtures, tools, if any of these items supplied by sent by the principal to the job worker, there is no time limit. Understand? For inputs 1 year, for capital goods 3 years. In case of molds, dies, jigs, fixtures, there is no time limit. Understand? After processing of such goods, it shall be bring back to the original principal. And one more important point, if any principal after completion of processing by the job worker, understand again, if the job worker has completed the process, he is sending the goods back to the principal. Sometimes he is not sending the goods back to the principal. Principal is selling such goods from the job worker premises itself. The goods are ready for dispatch by the job worker to the principal, but the goods are not sent. But in such a case, the principal is selling such goods from the job worker premises. In such a case, two requirements are important. One is he has to intimate such details to the jurisdictional officer. What details has to mention? Job worker premises shall be his additional place of business. Principal has intimated to the commissioner job worker place as his additional place of business. Then he can sell the goods from the job worker premises. Okay, next. Supply of goods. If the job worker is not registered, then he can intimate to the jurisdictional officer. If the job worker is registered, then such details are not required. I can read for your better understanding. After processing of goods, the principal also has the option to clear the goods directly from job worker premises on payment of tax within India or without payment of tax for exports outside India on fulfillment of condition. That means within India on payment of tax, he can sell the goods from the job worker premises. In case of payment, in case of exports, he can export the goods without payment of tax, subject to such conditions. What are the conditions we are discussing? The facility of supply of goods by the principal to third party directly from the premises of job worker on payment of tax in India, likewise with or without payment of tax for export, may be availed by the principal on declaring the premises of the job worker as his additional place of business in registration. That I have discussed. If the job worker premises is treated as a additional place of business, and the same has mentioned in his registration certificate of the principal. If the principal is mentioning job worker premises as his additional place of business, then he can do so. Such declaration is not required. When it is not required, when the job worker is registered under section 25. If the job worker is registered, such declaration by the principal is not required, and the principal is engaged in supply of notified services. And if the principal is supplying only notified services, then such a declaration by the principal is not required. Then, in such cases, supply of goods will be regarded as supply by the principal, not by the job worker. That means supplying goods by the principal from the job worker premises. Who is the turnover? The turnover belongs to principal. The turnover not belongs to job worker. Only job work charges shall be included in the aggregate turnover of job worker. In case of any supply made by the principal from job worker premises, it is the aggregate turnover shall be included in the aggregate turnover of the principal only. Understand? Next, procedure for sending goods to job worker. First I can read 2 paras, then I can discuss, then again 2 paras. Before supply of goods to job worker, the principal would be required to send intimation to the jurisdictional officer containing the details of the description of goods intent to be sent by the principal and a nature of processing to be carried out by the job worker. The said intimation shall also contain the details of other job workers if any. The inputs or capital goods shall be sent to the job worker under a cover of challan issued by the principal. The challan shall be issued even for the inputs or capital goods sent directly to job worker. The challan shall contain the specific details. That means before any goods sent by the principal to job worker, first he shall intimate such details to the jurisdictional officer. What details? What is the description of goods and what is the nature of processing shall be carried out by the job worker. If the job worker requires further processing, second job worker details also shall be intimated to the jurisdictional officer by the principal. That means any supply, any goods sent by the principal to job worker, the same detail shall be intimated to the jurisdictional officer regarding the description of goods, regarding the what is the nature of processing, what is the job worker details. All detail has to be given by the principal to the job worker. Just a minute. Then the when the goods are sent by the principal to job worker, the understand clear. When the goods are sent by the principal to job worker, the job worker shall issue a challan, that is called delivery challan. What details are mentioned in the delivery challan? We are going to do, namely date, number of delivery challan, name and number of delivery challan, name, address and GSTN of the consignor, consignee, HSN codes, a description of goods, quantity, taxable value, tax rate, tax amount, place of supply. The principal shall prepare duplicate delivery challan triplicate. That means what contents are there in delivery challan? Name, address, and the GST number of the consignor, consignee, where the goods are sent, what is the HSN code, what is the description of goods, what is the quantity they are sending for processing, what is the taxable value, what is the tax, all the details what are made applicable to invoices. The same detail we have to mention the delivery challan also, but the delivery challan shall be issued in triplicate by the principal. Who is issuing delivery challan? The delivery challan shall be issued by the principal. The principal shall issue delivery challan in triplicate. One copy shall be, just a minute. Yeah, sorry. That means the delivery challan shall be issued by the principal to the job worker in triplicate. One copy should be with the principal and 2 copies are sending to the job worker. Why 2 copies are sent to job worker? When the job worker is complete the processing, he is sending goods back to the principal. In such a case, one of the delivery challan copy shall be used by the job worker when he is sending goods to the principal. Understand? I can repeat that one. The principal shall prepare in triplicate for sending the goods to job worker. 2 copies of the challan may be sent to the job worker along with the goods. The job worker should send 1 copy of such challan along with the goods while returning them to the principal. When the goods are returning to the principal, the job worker shall use 1 challan. Okay. Next, where goods are sent from one job worker to another job worker. In such cases, the goods may move under cover of challan issued either by his principal or job worker. Alternatively, the challan issued by the principal may be endorsed by the job worker sending the goods to another job worker, indicating the quantity and description of goods being sent. The same process may be repeated for subsequent movement of goods to the other job worker, indicating the quantity and description of goods. That means if one job worker is doing some processing and some more processing required by another job worker, then such challan shall be endorsed by the job worker to another job worker, or alternatively he can issue challan, but he has to mention description of quantity. What is the description of goods? He has to mention the quantity and description of goods. Once further processing is required by another job worker, he has to endorse the challan, or he has to issue a fresh challan as delivery challan. Then he has to mention quantity and description of goods. Understand? Next, where the goods are returned to the principal by the job worker, the job worker should send a copy of the challan while returning the goods to the principal after carrying out the job worker. That means once the processing is completed, once the job work is completed, the job worker should send the goods to the principal by using the 1 copy of the delivery challan. Then next, the responsibility for keeping proper accounts for inputs and or capital goods lies with the principals. Who is sending the goods? The principal is sending the goods for inputs, in capital goods, molds, ticks, tools, jigs, all these materials sent by the principal to job worker. In such a case, who is maintaining the books of accounts? The responsible for maintaining the books of accounts for inputs, capital goods, molds, tools, jigs are lies with the principal only. Understand? Next, requirement to generate e-way bill. in case of job work, e-way bill shall be generated either by the principal or by the registered job worker irrespective of the value of the consignment, where the goods are sent by the principal located in one state and the job worker located in another state. This is an important point. When the job worker is located in one state and the principal is located in another state, e-way bill is compulsorily generated irrespective of the value of consignment. If the value of consignment is 10,000, if the value of consignment is 20,000, or if the value of the consignment is 60,000, irrespective of the value of the consignment, e-way bill shall be generated either by the principal or by the job worker if registered. If the job worker is registered, then the job worker can generate a e-way bill. If the principal is registered, then principal is issuing generating a e-way bill. Suppose if the job worker is unregistered, in such a case, the principal shall generate e-way bill. Understand? If the principal and job worker are in two different locations, in two different states, then e-way bill shall be generated by the principal or job worker if he is registered. If the job worker is unregistered, the principal shall generate a e-way bill. Okay, next. Registration requirement. Registration requirement means if the job worker and principal are in the same state, then job worker is required to be registered once his aggregate turnover exceeds 20 lakhs or 10 lakhs in case of special category state. In registration chapter we have discussed in case of interstate supply of goods. I can repeat, in case of interstate supply of goods, there is a compulsorily required to be registration. Compulsory registration provisions are applicable in case of interstate supply of goods. But in case of job worker, interstate supply of goods process not applicable. The job worker is liable to be registered once his aggregate turnover exceeds the threshold limit of 20 lakhs or 10 lakhs in case of special category states. If the job worker and principal in the same state also, they same process. The job worker or principal located in the same state also, job worker is required to be registered once his aggregate turnover exceeds 20 lakhs or 10 lakhs in case of special category states like Mizoram, Tripura, Manipur, Nagaland. I can read one. Registration requirement: when both the principal and the job worker are located in the same state, the job worker is required to be obtain registration only if the aggregate turnover to be computed on all India basis in a financial year exceeds the specified threshold limit 20 lakhs or 10 lakhs in case of special category states of Mizoram, Tripura, Manipur and Nagaland, in case both the principal and job worker are located in the same state. We have discussed it. And second point, registration requirement: when job worker is located in one state that is in a state different from that of the principal, where the principal and the job worker are located in different states, the registration requirement flows from section 24(1) of the CGST Act, which provides compulsory registration of suppliers making any interstate supplies. However, exemption from registration has been granted in cases the aggregate turnover of interstate supply of taxable services does not exceed 20 lakhs or 10 lakhs in case of special category states of Mizoram, Tripura, Manipur, Nagaland in a financial year. That means in these two cases also, job worker is required to be registered once his aggregate turnover exceeds the specified limits. Is not liable under compulsory registration. He is required to be registered once his aggregate turnover exceeds 20 lakhs or 10 lakhs in case of special category states of Mizoram, Manipur, Tripura and Nagaland. Understand? Then value of goods after completion of job work supplied directly from the premises of registered job worker, not to be included in the aggregate turnover of the job worker. It shall be included in the aggregate turnover of the principal. Just sorry, that means any value of goods that is supplied from job worker premises by the principal. I can repeat again, any supply of goods supplied by the principal from job worker premises, it shall be included in the aggregate turnover of the principal, not included in the aggregate turnover of job worker. I can repeat again. If any goods supplied by the principal from the job worker premises, it shall be included in the aggregate turnover of the principal, not included in the aggregate turnover of job worker. Only job work charges shall be included in the aggregate turnover of job worker. Understand? I think you enjoyed the chapter. There ends the job work chapter. Thank you.